Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome back to our channel once again. Morara Kebaso was involved in some accident yesterday.
Nani mlevi yako wapi? Bado anaongea. Sasa si ashukuru Mungu kwamba kwanza is alive. First thank God that you are alive, alafu tuanze kuongea story. Ndio. Wapi huyo mzee? And why is he drunk? Nipasuka taya zote na ikatoa airbags. Kama ako sawa, is she okay?
Yeah.
Ako poa?
Just in shock. In shock, yeah.
She's in shock, eh?
Yeah.
It was a head-on collision.
And the question which most Kenyans are currently asking is whether the accident was an accident or whether there was some foul play. In this video, I want us to do a critical analysis about that particular accident, because you all know that Morara has now emerged as a serious threat to the political class in the Republic of Kenya. And Morara can easily become a target. Number one, Morara has been exposing the government failures, which means he can be targeted by senior government officials who are corrupt. The truth is, whenever Morara goes outside there to expose stalled government projects, there are people within government, from the top to bottom, who are not comfortable with whatever he's doing. The people who awarded the tender, the beneficiaries of those tenders, the government themselves who promised those projects. Number two, the contractors themselves can easily target Morara, because Morara has even revealed to Kenyans that there are contractors who are paid full amount of money, but nothing has happened. Do you want to tell me that those contractors can be happy with Morara? They can never be happy with Morara. And of course, even the local leadership, in most cases, are also not very comfortable with whatever Morara is doing, because that's supposed to be their work. For example, the Mbeere North Member of Parliament, Geoffrey Ruko, can never be happy with the activities of Morara, which means Morara must be very careful with whatever he's doing. On this particular channel, I once offered my unsolicited advice to Morara, and I told him that one of the things he needed to do was to be very careful with the kind of support he's receiving from people, and that he should avoid night activities. So before we get into all those details, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But again, before I dive in, allow me to also take this opportunity to introduce you guys to LemFi. LemFi is a mobile money app for users in the UK, Canada, and the United States of America to send money back to Kenya. They offer the best exchange rates, and the money will be delivered instantly into your M-Pesa account, Airtel Money account, and of course, if you want, directly into your bank account. You can use the link in the pinned comment to download the app. Ladies and gentlemen, Morara was in Mount Kenya injecting.
Nyinyi wa Kikuyu, wa Meru, wa Embu, wa Tharaka na watu wote ambao wanaishi ndani ya Mount Kenya ambao nimesahau kwa hiyo list. Nataka mnisikize vizuri. Hii mchezo ambayo inaendelea kati ya Gachagua na William Ruto na Kindiki haiwahusu. It is not about you. Haiwahusu hata kidogo. Si ati wanapigania ni nani atawafanyia kazi vizuri kuliko mwingine. Si ati wanapigania ni nani atawaletea maendeleo kuliko mwingine. Si ati wanawapigania ile miradi ya serikali ambayo imekwama iweze kuamuliwa. Hawa watu wanapigania pesa yenu. Wameiba mpaka wameanza kupigana wenyewe.
He had very successful tour of the region. I remember when he was in Embu, the Mbeere North Member of Parliament tried to disrupt his event. The residents there told him no. But let me talk about this accident. Francis Gaido made some tweets some time back. This is what Gaido posted. I think what Morara should invest in is his own podcast studio. A crew to go around the country documenting stalled projects so that in a week he can tackle like 10 topics simultaneously. But that's just my opinion. So this gentleman just made that honest opinion. But Lord Mutai, who is a government blogger, made a comment there. And the comment is simple. Accident will happen soon. This is exactly what happened. And Gaido responded that we don't doubt Mohammed Amin's capabilities at all. So which means that's something which majority of Kenyans have been contemplating. And that's why, for me, I even advised Morara Kebaso to avoid night meetings. Now, the same yesterday, this is what Morara also posted, the same yesterday. For us to understand all this, this is what Morara posted. Guys, I need help finding this guy. In the confusion, he has slipped away and left his wrecked car. I just want to confirm that his escape is out of genuine fear. I don't want to overthink. Kama ako genuine, akuje tumalize hii story. Accidents happen, ni hali ya maisha. But akitoroka, it starts looking like something else. Now, and Kenyans, in their typical way, started linking the guy who was involved in that accident and the crowd. And it became very evident that the guy was also part of the crowd. And Morara is now saying, is this the same person? To me, shirt looks different, but I also know that photos taken under different lighting usually alter colors. So I'm confused now. If you were to ask me, the chance of the same guy listening to Morara there and the same guy who was involved in the accident being one person are very high. Are very high. But I don't want to speculate. So the thing is, Kenyans need to be told who is this guy. Because remember, we had Alexander Munge in the past who was warned of a possible accident. The way Morara was warned by Lord Mutai about a possible accident, then accident happened. During the previous regimes, during Moi era, most political assassinations used to happen as a result of accidents. I don't want to assume this was planned, but I want to assume it was an accident. And just like Morara is asking, we need to know the identity of this guy, whether this guy took off deliberately. But I don't want to focus on that. In this video, I want us to look at what Morara should do moving forward. Number one, Morara Kebaso should know that he has become a public figure. And therefore, his safety should be number one priority. He's a major target. And therefore, he must ensure that all his activities ends early enough, probably 5:30, so that by 6, he's out of the scene. And in case he must be at the scene, he must ensure that he's with the people, so that if anything were to happen, then people can actually record. We are in a country where people were just being abducted left, right, and center, kept for 1 month, and nothing just happened like that. So you must avoid night meetings. For me, I would not encourage Kebaso to go to those night rallies. They're very difficult. They're very dangerous. They'll expose him. That's number one. Number two, Kebaso must also avoid infiltration. If there's one thing the government is good at, then it is infiltration. Infiltrating a camp is so easy. I've always told you a story here that I was part of Okwa, Kenya. And the government infiltrated Okwa, Kenya just towards the last part of the signature collection. Okoa Kenya wanted people to help with data entry. So another guy who was given some responsibility decided, I think because he was running some cyber cafe work, to just go and pick people randomly from town. Maybe he made the advertisement in his cyber cafe that we need people at Okoa Kenya. I don't know how he convinced the people. I told them we are going to be infiltrated. If anything, by that time, because I had served as a national coordinator for Audio News 2012, I knew people nationally who are committed to the cause. I would have easily managed to even get them 100 people. But they decided to come with these people. How those cows, sheep, and blah blah signatures ended up in those forms, we don't know. Because we verified those forms. After entry, we verified. So it means they were able to sneak some of the papers, some of the books, and gave their people to enter because they infiltrated the system. So infiltration is one of the worst things Kebaso should accept to happen. If it were to happen to him, so many things will happen. He will not even know. Those will be right at the center of his campaign strategy. Who knew that Monica Juma was spying for Ruto in Uhuru Kenyatta circles? Who knew? Nobody. Number 3, Kebaso must also now come up with a team. And this team should be just ordinary Kenyans, but of course with some experts. You need people to help him with communication. Like for example, after this accident, I never expected Kebaso to update Kenyans as Kebaso. Maybe that communication ought to have come from a team, his communication team, explaining to Kenyans what has happened. He needs security experts, people who have experience with the security, how to deal with situations of security. For example, I've been involved in the Raila Odinga campaigns. You'll always be with Raila Odinga, but there's a point now when they've agreed now we are leaving. You will not even know how they've dropped off. Even if you are in that convoy chasing, those lead cars and the chase cars will go different direction. You'll follow them. By the time they'll be there, Raila out. In fact, in most cases, Raila Odinga also, in most cases, there's a way normally they change the vehicles very fast. You might not even realize that Raila Odinga has entered another vehicle. So everybody will be following his vehicle, coming back, taking a different direction. So in my view, he must invest in security. And of course, he must also avoid being predictable. Right now, it is easy to know what Morara is going to do next. I'm happy that in his tour of the mountain, he was a bit very careful. But of course, the government is on him. Their eyes are on him. But he should not be easily predictable. If he's coming to Nyanza, let him just say, I'm coming to Nyanza. But the way he used to do before. Remember where he would the president would leave Nyanza. The next day, he would be there. By the time people realize it's already done a content there, posted. So these guys could not even catch him. But right now, he has his motorcade. The moment those vehicles will be passing anywhere, the government will be following. They'll be able to know. Of course, even right now, the government has profiled people around him, people doing for him this, people doing for him that. He must figure out how he can become unpredictable. And lastly, I think I've also a bit explained it, is that he must figure out his exit strategy. How is he going to exit political situation? He must figure it out. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.